What is going on, guys? Noah Jai from the Geek Week here, and we are back with another video, man. I am joined by Kevin Buell, and we have just got done watching WarGames Survivor Series, man, and it was a pretty good show. Quite a lot to go over.
A lot to unpack here.
Let's just start right off, man. Match number one, we had Damage Control versus Becky Lynch, Shotzi, Bianca Belair, and Charlotte Flair. And I had as a side note that it was a decent match, some great spots, very high energy. I had a special side note for that Io Sky trash can drop off the top of the cage. Thought that was a special moment. And then also, not to be outdone by Charlotte Flair's moonsault off the top. That was also another special moment. How about you?
So my only issue with the match, and I told you earlier, is why I was taking half a point away from it. WarGames is supposed to be a 5-on-5 affair. Dakota Kai was outside of the ring messing with the women inside the ring, so I feel it should have been a 5-on-5. However, every single person involved with this match delivered perfectly. That trash can spot, dude, off the top like that, inside the. How can someone just throw a trash can on their own body, not know where they're going, and just jump into this hopefully safety-loving arms of the competitors? The moonsault, that was golden. Charlotte Flair continues to impress with her skills in the ring. Overall, I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10?
Yeah.
Solid. Very solid.
I can't justify going any lower than an 8. I can't.
Right. I agree. I think, in my personal opinion, that was probably my favorite match of the night. We'll definitely. I'll have a minute to reassess after we go through these, but I did have that feeling about halfway, 75% through the show. I think I even made a comment, something like the women are carrying this event.
Yeah, they definitely carried the WarGames matches.
But match number two, we had a little bit of a pace change. Gunther versus Miz, and I had written down here, it was a decent match, very predictable, right? The one thing I did kind of say to you while we were watching was, I mean, it looked like he went a bit easy on him, didn't it?
Yeah, he definitely didn't come at him with them hard Gunther chops.
You know,
Not
like
many of them. Maybe like, what'd you say, 2 or 3?
Yeah, it was only a few. You know, like a handful. And to be honest, like I said, I wouldn't have minded the Miz, winning in like Miz fashion with some sort of antics. You know, there was like a low blow. I think he took the turnbuckle off at one point.
Yeah, how many times do you see the fans cheer for a low blow?
Right. It's typical Miz stuff, so I'm all
great.
for it. My only thing was like, I mean, I just felt he should have maybe had to earn it a little bit, go through a little bit of that Gunther hell,
Right, especially for all the hype and
so at the end of the day, I guess I'm glad he didn't win off of, that match.
Yeah, that was kind of a lackluster match. If you're going to give the Miz the win over Gunther and have the title,
he's got to be a war, right?
It's got to be a war.
That's what you'd think.
Like an epic brawl. Not a brawl, but like a technical match. But I'm giving that one a 5-8.
5-8?
5-8.
5-8.
I will give Gunther props for being the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time.
Is he?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even know that.
Every day he has that title now.
It's a new record, yeah.
New record.
That's amazing.
It's fucking great.
I mean, he is fantastic.
It doesn't seem like they have any plans on taking that belt off of him.
I mean, Gunther is fantastic. Moving on. Match number 3, we had the LWO play out, right? We had Santos Escobar versus Dragon Lee.
Can I just give my rating right off?
And I'm just going to be honest. I did write on a side note that I had, it was, decent bit of storytelling throughout if you're following the storyline. I'm not, unfortunately, so I was a little bit out of the loop. But I did write it was a bit boring. It's a wee bit boring.
First thing I'm going to say about this match is the rank I'm going to give it. To 3. This was a 3.
3.
This match was an easy 3. It just storytelling. I mean, I would have much rather, like you said earlier, I would have rather seen Carlito in this match. I don't know if the injury to Carlito was for kayfabe.
Well, after a year, you
purposes.
mentioned that, but then they showed it. I'm pretty sure it is kayfabe, right?
It looked kayfabe.
Looked pretty kayfabe to me.
Okay, exactly.
So yeah, I'm pretty
I
disappointed
don't
as well.
understand why do that after bringing Carlito back, and you're not going to give him a match against Santos Escobar.
I don't know either. Yeah.
And then Dragon Lee gets kind of squashed, honestly.
No, definitely.
And for the Lucha,
He
Luchador-
definitely, it's definitely a squat. But you know what? In unspectacular fashion as well.
yeah,
You know, like, because I could deal with the squash, I guess. I hardly seen
if there's some flashy shit
I've only
in
seen
there,
the guy wrestle maybe once or twice.
Yeah, if
So
you
it's
give me
not
some
like I'm
flashy
attached.
shit.
But, like, if he's going to get squashed, at least let him jump off the ropes into a
That's
move.
what I'm saying. Give me some
Yeah.
flashy shit.
Yeah, like, you know,
Make
like it was just.
make it entertaining.
it was
and
very-
like, all right, he tried.
Right. A very dull affair.
Very dull affair.
Well, if you want, you know, tell the fans, what are we giving this one officially?
3.
3 out of 10.
This one's a 3.
All right.
Didn't do it for me. And like you said, after that first match, the pace of the show changed for a while.
It did. Yeah, it did.
For a
And
bit of time.
you know, one thing to keep in mind, pacing is a huge part of
Pacing is a huge
this. So like,
part, especially with the live crowd like that
dude,
for 4 hours.
I can tell you, like,
Oh.
all right, like I told you,
can
I
lose,
said
you
this.
can lose them in a heartbeat.
I said this while we were watching that last year's Full Gear from AEW was one of the best live events I'd seen.
Crowding-
But in that same breath,
yeah.
it was a little too much because of the pacing. It never slowed
Yeah.
down ever.
No, it didn't.
was like, oh my god, like I don't have a second to breathe. Every second is ridiculous spots. And that's kind of AEW, you know. That's indie is like that.
it is.
But just to give people an understanding, they might not understand. Pacing's important because as a fan, you need to be, you know, brought through an event. It's 3 hours.
100%.
You know, you
No,
can't
that
just
shit's
every
yeah,
match
yeah.
can't be high flying, losing your breath. You know,
But
you'll
the
die.
luchador style match should.
That should be. Oh, for sure.
It
for
should
sure.
be, and
for
it
sure.
wasn't.
No, I'm in full agreement. Full agreement.
That was-
I just wanted to be clear
Right.
to our audience that's watching. You know, there is a method to the madness with pacing and
There
live
is,
events.
and thankfully they had some key moments towards the end to pick the pace back up. But if it wasn't for those moments, it would have been a dud.
After that, we have Rhea Ripley versus Zoe Stark. I know this one was a highly anticipated from
Cook
you,
fest.
and it really.
Cook fest, bro.
I
That was
think-
a cook fest.
I think it held up. It was great.
100%.
I loved it. This
Rager, Rhea
this
Ripley's
was
a dog.
second best match to me. It could
See, to me, I'm putting it first.
I'd be okay with it at first.
It's my
I'd be okay with it at
first,
first
yeah.
because it was just as good.
You
Storytelling
said
was
it
there.
earlier. The women dominated this.
The women
show.
took the pay-per-view for me. They took the
100%.
pay-per-view
and
for
they
me.
have the last few.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you might be onto
They
something there.
genuinely have, and
Because the
love it.
storytelling was there.
Storytelling
I love
was
the spot with Zoe. Hit me.
She's
You know,
just- I
It's
think
great.
her nickname's what? The Pitbull. I think it's the
Pitbull. Yeah,
She's a little pitbull, dude. She's fired.
dude. Even that DDT that she put on
that was
off the
nasty.
off the side of the cage
Yeah, that
or off
was
the side of the
nasty.
ring. That was great, man.
Zoe Stark, she's got a bright future.
Yeah, that
I
was
hope
great.
she eventually does get a title, but I don't know who I see taking that off of Rhea. Who's gonna take that belt off of Rhea, guys?
I don't think they have
Like,
one yet. Yeah, for this one I had the Rhea Ripley match. It was for me. It was a good match. I didn't think it was spectacular, but I thought it definitely brought the intensity back up for the pay-per-view. You know, from a little bit of a lull that we went into with
Yeah.
Gunter and Miz and then
The
Santos.
show definitely needed that jolt.
Right, get you back up on your feet, right?
Yeah. Overall, I'm going. Like I said, this is my favorite match of the night, so I'm going 8-9.
8.9.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
8.9 out of 10. Everything delivered. And like I said, a good match to me starts with an entrance.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
And
you know what? Let's take a minute
dude,
and just talk about
we
that.
didn't even
yeah.
bring that up yet. Rhea's look for this match.
Oh, stellar.
Even Zoe's look with the battle.
Oh, it was great.
Battle paint.
Yeah, it was great.
But Rhea's look.
Stellar.
Whoa.
Absolutely. That's 2
That
pay-per-views in a
was-
row now.
Yes,
Where she's just come in
yes.
killer.
And you gotta take into account that's the last event was in Saudi Arabia, so a lot of their gimmicks have to be kind of censored because of the religious laws in Saudi Arabia. So for censorship like that, she still pulled it off at the last show with a crazy look.
I agree, man.
And tonight, that look, oh my God. Rhea, you killed it. Once again, you're my favorite female wrestler. Zoe Stark, I can't wait to see what she does in the future. That's all I got for that one, though.
Yeah, on to our main event. We have Judgment Day with heel Drew McIntyre versus Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, and Randy Orton.
The Viper, baby. I am so happy he's back.
I'm gonna let you take this one away because you were very much looking forward to this, and they did pull through with quite a few things in this match. But what I first just want to give them a nod for is the great fake out that you also called. You also called that. You were like, this would be a great time. I think we were just throwing away a throwaway conversation. You were like, this would be a great time to cash in. And I was like, you know what? You're fucking right. It would be a great time. Nobody would see it coming, but this is a great time.
No, and I was thinking about that on the ride over here before the show started tonight. I'm like, what if he does cash in tonight? It'd be perfect. Before the match is over, he cashes in, wins the title, and that pinfall also wins the match.
I couldn't agree more.
That would have been awesome. But
I think also because of the things we were talking about, we're like, oh, well, they muffed the Randy Orton surprise. So then CM Punk's got to be involved. But if CM Punk's involved, then they're definitely not going to do a Money in the Bank cash in.
Right.
So we're thinking all these things like, if this happens, this can't happen. This can't happen. If this happens, then everything happens.
Right.
But I'll let you take it away.
But imagine if he would have cashed in and won successfully.
I think it would have been great.
That would have been crazy.
But
I think the crowd would have lost it.
Why don't you walk us through what happens? Because there is quite a bit. And the reaction was gold, by the way.
All right. So, first and foremost, the way they announced Randy Orton was coming back was kind of irrelevant because the way they had him come out tonight was the way they should have done it without saying who's even going to be there, But Randy Orton coming out to spoil the cash-in attempt by Damian Priest was fucking great. The look on Rhea's face, like she'd seen a ghost. I know Judgment Day feuded a little bit with Riddle and Randy. RK Bro, I missed that. But Randy came in, did his normal thing. They had a cool moment where everybody did the draping DDT. I know you, Noah, particularly love that moment.
Oh, yeah.
Randy Orton did his, side slams, hit a couple RKOs, and then JD McFly.
Oh, man.
JD
we got to bring it up, right? Oh,
no,
man.
JD Plank.
That man,
JD McPlank.
Bro, like literally, if there ever was a neck offered up for an RKO,
all right,
that man came out the woodwork. He said, take mine.
No, if you can make this happen, put a side-by-side of JD doing that next to Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, just for you. This is a Matt thing. This is a Matt Seep edit. That is not a Noah edit. That ain't happening.
That was awesome. But I love a good RKO. Honestly, I was telling you this earlier. Before I came over, I was watching like a 20-minute clip of the best RKOs. He hit one on Chad Gable that I never saw. You got to look it up. It's the best RKO. I don't care what anybody says. It's the number one RKO.
It'd be the Chad Gables, bro. It'd be the people.
Dude,
what's the one dude from back in the day?
Evan Bourne?
What's that?
Evan Bourne. The RKO on Evan Bourne when he did the shooting star press?
Maybe.
Ooh, or the one on Rollins at WrestleMania when he went for the curb stop and he stood up.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
RKO.
That was a good one too. Very creative.
But overall, the match itself, before I get into this next bit, I can't rank the match with this next bit because the match was over before this happened.
I agree.
The match itself, I'm giving it a 7.5 out of 10. It was a basic WarGames match. Like we previously discussed, the women's WarGames match was once again the better WarGames match. However, the moment that happens afterwards makes this entire hour-long moment that much better. Guys, he's back. The best in the world, CM Punk, baby!
Personality. Yeah, that's funny, though.
The cult of personality himself.
You dropped some very important information when we first started. You were
yes, I did.
Yeah, they just remastered the fucking
Living Color as of yesterday, dropped a remastered version of Cult of Personality.
Like,
Now,
that's
I know
peculiar.
that song was a song before.
Oh, for sure. It's a very
CM Punk
famous
got it,
song.
so, yeah, they could have just remastered
But it's just very
it. But
peculiar.
the day before Survivor Series, which
Strange.
which was in Chicago tonight, and then for that stadium to be playing that song throughout different events all
And to
week.
be fair, I did hear some interviews with CM Punk as well, speaking on showing up as
saying
a
he had some free
and
time.
it just didn't sound like, it didn't sound like he was saying no, Didn't sound
Well,
like
I
he was
know a
saying
lot of bridges had to be mended for this to work. However, they're making it happen. Please,
well,
Punk,
maybe less than you think, because he was AEW.
Punk, now that you're back, please make this. I have waited for this for so goddamn long. So goddamn long. I'm too old. I'm growing up now. The Undertaker's done. All I got left is CM Punk and Randy Orton. That's all our generation has left, Noah.
Yeah.
CM Punk, Randy Orton, maybe John Cena, but that
John
bald
Cena
spot,
counts, I think, until he hangs it up.
He might have hung it up. The way he lost his solo.
Well, nah, John Cena's doing what most people don't fucking do. He's giving back. He's giving back. Like, dude, he's
Yes.
won 1 billion matches. That's what I was saying the last pay-per-view we watched. Like, it's great that he's losing matches now to people that are up and coming. Like,
100%.
yeah, everybody wishes Hulk Hogan did this. He would never
Yeah.
do it. He would never do
Hogan
it.
would never give
Now
back.
Hogan's in the locker room. I don't think this works for me, brother.
No, never.
I don't think I like this creative, brother.
Overall, though, this show was good. Survivor
How about
Series,
take out the CM Punk return, just a score for the last match.
What did I give it? I thought I just
No, we didn't get one for that.
7-2.
7-2.
Yeah. Like, it was a good match. I'm not taking anything away from it.
No, I agree. I think it was, it was that-
JD McFlop was my favorite moment up until Punk returned.
for me, it was just, it was decent. It wasn't a spectacular.
It was
I agreed with you on as far as the Ripley Zoe Stark was the highlight for me, and then I agree.
100%.
Obviously I had the first match very high up too, and it's always tough. One thing I wanted to point out about a setup like they have for the WarGames is like we talked about with the utilization of the stages, right? So it may seem easy because you have like 8 people in a ring. It's
Right.
not,
No,
it's not. That's a
easy.
lot of space to fucking cover, especially when they're sectioned off from each other and not one big open ring.
Right.
So they got to actually, it's ring awareness. And from this WarGames compared to the WarGames I watched last year, I felt, I mean, I think the women carried the show this year. But if I'm just speaking on the women's WarGame match from last year and the women's WarGame match this year, they utilized the space in the ring so much better.
Way more.
Because I loved the match
Yeah.
they had last year. It was a
Yeah,
lot of great
last year,
spots.
a lot of it-
Io Sky actually had a great moonsault off the top
With the trash
last year,
can.
which was fantastic. But
But all that shit happened in the left ring.
right.
last year.
It just didn't.
This year
it didn't
was
carry.
very spread out. Like, you had stuff happening in every corner.
They did a good job.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Not
definitely.
saying not all 4 corners of one ring. 2 corners in the far side, and then the far 2 corners on the other side. Like, people were spread out. Bodies were everywhere. And then, like I said, Dakota Kai just poking people through the cage.
Yeah, man.
Should have been 5-on-5. That's my only real gripe with that match is if the men's war game is 5-on-5 and the women's last year was 5-on-5, what are we doing? Have some consistency.
I agree with
Just
you, man.
put a 5th member on. I don't care if it's random. Random sometimes better. You can have some cool surprise returns. Like, I don't know. I know she's talked about wanting to come back. Not Tori Wilson. Kelly.
Really?
Yeah. I've heard her say she wants to come back.
I have to see Kelly since I was a kid.
Lita.
Lita, yeah.
I'll take Lita.
Well, I mean, if you got Trish, why not?
War Games.
WarGames.
Also, Matt, you got to clip William Regal saying War
Willie
Games.
Riggs. WarGames.
Overall, event-wise,
WarGames.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Solid.
That
8 out of
sounds
10.
fair.
Yeah.
Sounds fair.
Honestly, Punk and Randy saved it.
I think I could definitely vouch with the CM Punk return at the end. Yeah, 8 out
That
of
was.
8 out of 10
It's
sounds
not
right.
even the fact that he returned. It's the way that they had the. What's the word for the stuff they put on the screen when they're saying, like, the send home? Like, the little tag they put at the bottom, the sports entertainment tag that says, all right, this is the end of the show. Now
Oh,
it's over.
right, yeah.
That was on the
Courtesy of.
screen, and then Cult of Personality
You're
hit.
absolutely right. Yeah.
Noah was writing down notes like it was over.
Yeah.
I was on my phone, and then
Yeah, they
I
got
heard
my
it.
ass. They got my ass.
Total fake out. Like I told you, if Triple H managed to pull this off, it was the best kept secret. And it was the best kept secret since Edge coming back at the Rumble.
I agree.
That was awesome. Punk, I can't wait to go home, watch the press conference, and see what you got to say. I'm gonna do a review on the press conference at some point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is all good. We're gonna need a video. This is all
Fuck yeah.
pretty important shit.
Fuck
All right,
yeah.
guys, but that'll probably do it for us here on our end. As always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you've got the time, consider donating on our Patreon, as it really helps out our channels. As always, I'm Noah Jai from the Geek Week, joined by Kevin.
Yeet.
And we will catch you in the next video. Peace.